Testing now. Let's see. Am I audible now? Testing now. Oh, there we go. I actually do not know how to begin this, but I'm gonna say Merry Christmas to everyone who is celebrating at least, and good day to you, or good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are, if you're not able to celebrate. Um, it's been, what, 5 months since I've streamed? Oh, no. Well, I have a lot of stuff to talk about, but am I audible now? I have no idea if I'm audible. Well, I hope I'm audible. I'm going to be testing again if I am audible. I'm going to test again because apparently I still cannot hear myself. I'm going to try again. Hmm. Okay, yeah, I'm audible. Once again, for those who just joined, Merry Christmas for those who are celebrating, and good morning, good afternoon, good day, and good night for whoever is unable to celebrate, including myself. I don't know if a lot of people watched. There were several people watching at some point. It's now down to two, but I feel like more people are going to join later on. Well, for the last 5 months, I've been quite busy. In fact, I've been busy for 2 years, in fact. If anyone is wondering, it's because I actually have a life and I study. In fact, I study animation and graphic design. So it makes so if you're seeing some flashy stuff, just know that it's because, I kind of know stuff like that. I'm supposed to know stuff like that. Um, things are not really good because at the moment, this is just a still image. In fact, this is the new, it's one of the new videos. It's one of the new graphics, I must say. for the upcoming animation. And if anyone doesn't know what the upcoming animation is, it's the 2023 Typhoon animation, Typhoon season animation. And so far, the only thing that remains is verifying something and adding one last intro, and that's it. It should arrive probably Saturday or Sunday. They're both good days. I have not been streaming anything for like the last 5 months because I decided to keep the last animation a big secret, and well, I only revealed it in community posts. It was the 2005 hurricane season animation. That was probably the most painful animation I've done. It was the most painful until now. Everything is painful. And I've been doing nothing. In fact, if I'm gonna be honest, I've been gaming because life is tough, and it isn't an exaggeration to say that I've not been doing well, but that's the story for another day. So until last month, until like the start of this month, rather, I decided to actually work on an animation again and finish out the one thing that I've been unable to finish because I've been struggling quite a bit. I have difficulties with managing deadlines, and I haven't really been able to open up to anyone. So yeah, I've been doing quite a lot of things. Let me see. If I could get at least one image of the last working animation, I actually don't know if I could. I have no idea. So if people have not yet noticed, I decided that the current branding style is so boring that I decided to change the fonts. Well, I changed only one of the fonts because Montserrat, it's a pretty good font. It's free, it's open source, I think. I don't think it's open source, I'm not sure, but it is fully free. Anyone can use it. It's been used anywhere and everywhere. It's probably the best free stencil font. But I had a good time with it, and I think it's time to move on to something else, because once again, that font is everywhere. And I want to do something quite unique and, try to be something different. So, quite literally, I decided to use a different font, as is evident from the current thumbnail, and I'm gonna try and show this if I could. This is from the upcoming animation. It has not been finalized because I need to optimize a lot of things. Fair warning, there's gonna be an image jump scare in a few minutes, not few minutes, few seconds. This, not this, this is exactly how it's gonna look like in the upcoming animation. I decided to change the fonts. It's a lot more nicer looking-ish. It's not Monster Right anymore. I'll reveal it when I could, because a lot of things are happening. And yes, that's also basically the seasonal animation intro. It changes for each basin. I won't be spoiling it. This is the only thing I'm gonna show. Aside from that, I've been working on one more thing. It's the 2025 Atlantic Hurricane Season animation. And it was okay. It took 2 days to finish the main animation, and it isn't. I wouldn't call it insane. It's not that insane compared to last season, but I would say it's like one storm takes it all kind of season. I still cannot believe, like, there was. If I were to be told that there would be 3 Category 5 hurricanes, and one of them would nearly reach the 165 knot target, I would call someone insane. But here we are. I don't really expect much for the TCRs for Melissa. The most I'm gonna expect is just a bump in the winds to 165 knots. That's 190 miles per hour for those who are in the US, and somewhere around 300 to 305 kilometers per hour for those who are not in the US. But I wouldn't really say it's gonna go up to 195 or 200. I don't think it would go up to 195 because it was starting to weaken as it approached landfall. And I think the other most interesting storm this year is, well, it's not really Category 5 hurricanes. It was the tropical storm Karen. It came out of nowhere, and it kind of became, it just came and became the northernmost forming storm in the database, and then just disappeared after a few days. It is kind of interesting to think about, though. I think, honestly, compared to last year, this year was surprisingly quieter in terms of name storms, but also it nearly was just as active in terms of energy. Like 160, no, 160. It was last year, that was 161. This year was 132, cyclone energy. That's kind of crazy to think about, because, it was in the end of September. You ever wondered, how are we gonna reach 130, 140, and here we are. We finished the season with one Category 5 that basically stole the entire show, and not only that, here's another above average consecutive hurricane season. Quite the shock. So it appears that there's gonna be an El Nino, or probably a neutral. So I hope next year is gonna be quieter. And I kind of hope that the other basins have more storms, because, well, not in a bad way, because the Atlantic, as much as it's helpful, is the most helpful place for a tropical cyclone, it's also quite boring. The Pacific, so I think 20 named storms, I think. There were there were two Central Pacific named storms. That was quite the. I don't think we have had that in nearly 6 years. And one of them became a Category 4. Well, that was about it. There was, I think, Eric. That was the earliest making landfall, the earliest major landfall in the Pacific Basin. There was Kiko. It's the same as 2019, I guess. And that was it. I cannot remember anything else. Oh yeah, there was Octa and Priscilla, but they don't really have much importance compared to those three storms. The Western Pacific is surprisingly quiet this year, even though there were so many named storms. The cyclone energy was pretty low, I heard. It's like 2022 all over again, except there was apparently just two super typhoons. Well, just two. I know there were a few agencies that were calling another storm super typhoon. There was, well, I cannot remember what there was, but there was Typhoon Rogasa and Yoguri. I'm pretty sure the latter one was a lot more insane compared to the other one. There was a lot of deadly storms this year. There was Bolai, Matmo, Kaomeki, and Fungwon. And I don't remember. Oh, yeah, there was Rifa as well. Surprisingly, all of those storms are, I think, more deadlier than Rogasa, which was a super typhoon. And there was the Northern Indian Ocean. I have no words. I did not really know anything was going on there because nothing formed. Well, there was a few storms that did form because, well, GTWC also monitors the basin. But the IND, the Indian Meteorological Department, didn't really mark some decisions until like towards the end of the year, where they named two systems, I think. There was Shakti and, let me see, what else? Oh yeah, Shakti and Monta. Oh my, I forgot about the other two. I did not expect Senor to be like the deadliest Northern Indian storm since 2008. Actually, this season was far more deadlier than it was far more deadlier than the previous seasons. I kind of forgot about those. Think I had to. I think I may have actually thought about the parts before Senor and Ditla. And I think that's really about it, because I did not really track the Southern Hemisphere tropical cyclones. Yeah, I know, it's a shocker, but it's not really something I do, because usually that's when I take a hiatus from everywhere. And I did not know that one of the storms named Arrow in the Australian region, yeah, that blew up, and I never knew about it. That's about it. Well, there were a few named storms in the Southwest Indian Ocean. In fact, it was looking like there was going to be way more, but apparently not. But 3, 4 off-season storms is gonna be. It's all gonna be. That's the tropics. I don't think there's anything going on right now there. I heard there was tropical storm Grant, but granted that kind of fell apart. I'm so sorry about that. But I think that's about it for the tropics. I'm going to talk about what I did this year for the channel. It's not much, but we'll start off with the 2024. Well, that was the highest viewed video in a long while, and then it crashed. And I still don't know how it crashed because it was going up, and then it crashed. I heard from a lot of people and friends it was very good, but I also think it could have been better, and it turns out a few days after I posted the animation, the TCR, the Tropical Cyclone Report for Debbie, came out, and it completely changed one part of the system. So that part, before it hits North Carolina, South Carolina, the Carolinas, it's now subtropical instead of tropical. So that came as a shock, even for me, because I do not really follow these kinds of stuff. So there's a reason why I've been making the current 2025 animation a lot more slower, because I don't want to screw this up, and I'm trying to make it more towards casual people who don't really have good attention spans. Oh, take it from me, I have ADHD. I have terrible attention spans. But I try to. Well, for the next two animations, I'm gonna try to make the intro a lot shorter. It's not gonna be like 30 seconds, it's probably gonna be like 15 seconds long. And yeah, I need to get around to making the other seasonal animations, which I do not look forward to because there's so much to do. I mean, let's see. We did the April Fools, but we didn't do a video about it. There was live streams. I tried doing that, then I stopped because I was working on a secret project back then. Then we released the 2005 animation, and that was it until now, when this week, hopefully, there's gonna be the 2023 Typhoon animation. That's cool. And then hopefully next month, or maybe the month after, there's gonna be the 2025 Atlantic animation. I've also changed some of the stuff. I probably changed the banner. It's been whatever that was for like almost 2 years. It's been changed. It is now a proper YouTube banner. And then I changed the channel icon to match the current branding. Also, I've set this at the beginning of the stream. The current image on the screen right now is a frame from one of the newer graphics. So hopefully that will be something. I don't know, because honestly, I have plans to make a lot more videos about me talking about stuff in another place. Maybe dip my hands into other content just to get out of this weird phase about getting stuck at 4,300 for some reason, because YouTube is quite weird and I have no idea how to escape it. I might also make game videos, but I have not decided that yet. I think that's about it for, well, talking about stuff. So, I have not told about this to anyone except for some of the people I know. This stream isn't just about talking about and ranting about stuff. I'm gonna repeat it again. If you did not know, I am an animation student. We do a lot of animation stuff. We do modeling. Not really, we don't do modeling every day. We just did it for like one semester. We also did 3D animation. We also did 2D animation. I used Adobe Animate, Autodesk Maya, there's After Effects, and also graphic design. There's Photoshop, Illustrator, I guess whatever drawing is. And there's gonna be like one more semester before I can get my degree, I guess. I have been kind of struggling, but that's fine. Everyone does. So, if you did not know that I was an animation student, it should make more sense now because a lot of my videos take so much time to make. It takes, on average, 1 month to finish one animation. Every single one of them. Since 2024. It takes longer if I had to change all that stuff. So it has come to my attention that a certain channel has made something so bad that even one of my friends had commented on it. And I'm not gonna cherry pick, because now one friend despises that said channel. And I am gonna react to it today, because I have nothing else to do. I could also teach about animation, because I am a student, and I think that kind of helps. So consider this as a small tutorial for those who are watching. Well, this is YouTube, and let me just fix tracks again. Alright. So, I know I may piss off certain people. I'm probably gonna piss off a lot of people, in fact, because if you weren't aware, I used to animate for another channel. Mm, I'm gonna reveal which channel it is at the end, but let's just say they are pretty much well known in this community. I used to animate for them for like almost a year, in fact. Actually, more than a year. From 2021 to 2022, I made animations like the 2015 Typhoon animation, the 1997 Cyclone Season animation. There was a few track animations that I did, and also the 2021 Northern Indian Ocean Cyclone Season animation. I think that gives it away for which channel I work for. And a lot of people, even to this day, say that it's one of the best animations in that show, even today. So, I left because, I'm gonna be honest, I probably am gonna get struck down, but I don't care. The owner of that channel is, unfortunately, not a good person. Not we, I was not part of it, but some of the members of that project was trying to improve the quality of the project by doing necessary steps like improved quality assurance, improved videos, a lot of changes here and there, and all of that was going well until it didn't. And a lot of people, including myself, decided to leave the project and never look back since. That project is Falls 13. I don't think that comes as a surprise. I have not really engaged with them since 2022, I guess. I have not commented anywhere since then. I have not really watched anything except for like one or two videos, because people would show me stuff. And it has come to my attention recently that they need 2 new animations that were so bad it had to warrant my analysis as well. Well, I don't really watch them, and I'm not gonna use my account to watch them. I signed out, and I'm gonna be using this anonymized web session instead to watch their videos. So, let's see what they have. Right. So, in the last 2 days, well, not 2 days, 2 weeks, they released these 2 animations. And apparently, it was not good. Now, the issue with this is that, animations take time. It's not really that easy. Sometimes you can get away by, making animations so bad that you can still get a lot of views even after you've done basically nothing. So it's come to my attention again that these are not good animations. And I'm gonna be fully disclosing something here. I have not watched any of their animations in the last 3 years except for 2 of them. One was the 2023 Typhoon Season animation, and the other was the 2024 Automatic Hurricane Season animation. Now, the latter was because my then friend decided to share some of this stuff for us so we could help improve the animation, because at the time it was pretty well known that the animation quality on the channel was not that good. So we also tried to give our inputs as well. Now, that person who animated that video got exposed as, I'm gonna be a bit friendly here, not really good with consent. And I heard, like, a few hours ago that she's still in that project. I don't have to explain how stupid that sounds, but she's still in that project. She's still yet to be removed. I am not sure what is going on. In fact, that's not really surprising, because I can also talk about a lot of other stuff. The owner of this channel is not really good. I won't be naming him. One of the people in the music collection actually sent a lot of obscene stuff to a minor, and got banned from this project and then got added back again. So, yeah, that's about it. Not really a good place to be at. Again, a lot of people are going to be pissed off because I usually never talk about this, but I had to just for context. And the context is that if you know, that the quality kind of skyrocketed downwards since 2022, it's because a lot of people, including myself, left. And now a lot of solar channels actually, they make a lot better they make a lot better content. I can name a few. Shameless plug, myself. There's Nathan, pronounced Nathan, it's NX10. I don't know how to pronounce it still. I have my gripes, but Xavier from XCX Animations makes some good animations as well. They're a lot better than Force 13, in fact. I know Astro makes some good animations, there's Corgimations, there's Cyclonimations. I think Balladeer Animations also makes better animations than Force 13. Who else? Honorable mention to TSK 2025. I don't know if that's still their username. Am I forgetting someone? I don't know. Yeah, those channels. They all make better videos. They do not get as much views. And honestly, I do not have anything to expect except I've been told that the analysis for the last animation was bad. So, fair warning. I know that I can react to this video because YouTube dictates that as long as I have significant commentary above it, it's fair use. In case the owner of this channel strikes this video down, in fact he has struck videos down before of people criticizing him and using him for using a little bit of parts from a person's animation to use in their own video, and that copyright strike has now been resolved. In fact, the person counter-striked them, they did not respond, and the strike was automatically removed. So in case this video gets struck down, I have nothing to say, but I'm kind of willing to risk that because I have a lot of things to say. So we'll start off with the first one. It's gonna be we're gonna start off with this one. And I know I'm gonna reduce volume because they have a lot of copyrighted music.
Expecting then no less than 15
Oh no.
2025, as well as 6 hurricanes and 3.
I mean, in his defense, there were a lot of major hurricanes that did in fact form.
Major hurricanes presented out here on the roster right now. So that is the 413 forecast for the virus.
Well, okay. So far, I like that the intro is a lot shorter than last year. Way shorter. Like, surprisingly a lot shorter. Because a lot of people don't, again, I mentioned this before, a lot of people do not have good attention spans. I also like the intro, but I think it has to give it very long. Well, I'm not sure if reacting to the content counts as prohibition, but I'll go ahead. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Don't do my full markers like this, because I'm an animation student. I'm gonna nitpick on this. So notice how this ring just keeps going like nothing has happened. There was no force stopping it. There's no eating out. There's no second reactions. When you animate a circle like this, it needs to be in a way so that it starts out pretty quickly and then slows down and it stops and then it disappears. The issue of this is that it lasts so long that you basically get distracted by it. This is not really that good. I prefer the last ones they used a few years back. Those are actually pretty good because at least they had some element of an animated landfall. This one not so much. This just feels like they just threw this together and added real keyframes. It doesn't look, let's just say it doesn't really look, it doesn't look smooth. Oh yeah, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. And notice how there's like a lot of effects. Usually I don't mind adding glow. It's just, it looks glowy in this case. Look, this strong landfall here. Okay, it made landfall as a big drop of the storm. I'm not really sure if that warrants an animation that leads almost to the outside of the Caribbean. Newly at the what do you call this? This looks like the wedding calendar, but oh no, it just keeps going. I hate to nitpick again, but I think the font could have been better. It doesn't look that nice. I like the numbers. The numbers look quite nicer, but the text don't really look that great. They could have used EXO, they could have used Montserrat. Maybe they could have used Doses. They used Doses before. I know it, because I worked there. Oh wait, has this ever moved? No, wait, not yet, at least. I hope it does move at the end, because it has to. Wait, wait, there are no damage pop-ups. You know those things, sometimes, when they just show you how much damages and the fatalities are? I noticed they're missing. I guess it's just preferential choice. I mean, it doesn't have to be necessary. So, there are times when it needs to be addressed where the fatalities took place. In this case, the storm has got a form. This thing as well killed a lot of people in Cabo Verde. And I'm not exactly sure if saying, yeah, there was like 10 plus deaths, but sometimes some people want to know where people died. So in that cases, such things might be useful. But again, it's just preference. I like that the arcs are a lot more consistent. I hear voiceover, but for the sake of not having any issues, I'm just not gonna play it. Again, I wouldn't really mind it. I have done that before, that's fine. Am I going crazy or did they just rename a depression? Well, I hate to be that person, but we might have to, hold on a moment. I have to go off script. I don't have a script, but I had to. So, for Fronand, this storm, at the time, formed way later than the TCR. The TCR pushed its formation a lot backward, 23rd of August. At this point, let's see when it becomes a tropic storm. In this animation, the tropical storm, Fernand intensifies into a tropical storm at 0 UTC August 25th. At that point, this thing was 45 knots. That's 50 miles per hour, I think. I don't know why they decided to leave it like that. It could warrant an answer, maybe. I'm not exactly sure why the entire part 1 of this storm was a tropical depression. Usually, most of the times, the National Hurricane Center does in fact actually kind of make decent TCRs. Most of the time. There have been rare times where they didn't really do that well. I think because they either didn't have the resources or they just wanted to rush out the they just kind of wanted to rush out the reports, but I don't want to speculate. It is what it is. In this case, so far, every single one of the TCRs for this season has actually been decent. A lot of changes, in fact. Andrea's formation was pushed quite a bit. I remember originally it only lasted for 6 hours. It got pushed back. Its regeneration phase got pushed back. And next one, the reports. There were a lot of reports. There was Umberto. It got another 6 hours as a category 5. And I noticed they also reduced pressure. Stuff like that is kind of matter. I don't know why they decided to keep Fernand as tropical depression. And initially, they do their analysis, but I'll explain it in the next animation. I don't want to spoil it. I noticed they are also covering the exotropical phase, which is nice because OPC data in some tracks are not really covered that well. Okay, I can see one good thing is that they actually got the naming correct. In fact, Gabriel was named when arguably it was not a tropical storm. In fact, I think they actually did remove the. Let me check. They did remove the earlier points. I remember they removed the earlier points. It used to start over. It used to form over here. And this was the earliest formation date. It got pushed all the way here. But if you remember, they named the system here. They removed the track, but they named the system here. So that's one good thing I can say about this. The National Hurricane Center's inverse formation chances start over here. Well, oh, I did not mean to go full screen. I'm so sorry. YouTube can be janky sometimes. That's not my fault. Going back to Roberto, before 12. I'm not exactly sure once again why they decided to leave this entire phase as a non-tropical storm. Maybe they have their own analysis. They do have their own analyses. I just don't know why they did it. Which could have been nice if they explained it at the end of the animation. Maybe. I know they don't do it, but still. Yeah, I've kind of said that when you do like circle animations, don't go overboard. You have to at most make it so that it just spreads to this area instead of going all the way out. Because it is quite distracting. I imagine it's a lot worse at the later stages of the landfall at later strengths. Interesting decision to 165, that's 145 knots. 919, what says 918. I won't be complaining, that's also fine. That's subjective at the end of the day. That's Jerry. I know that's Jerry. It's the only thing that formed that area until like in early October at least. I can say one good thing about the animations is that they actually have a lot of extended phases. The issue with National Hurricane Center is that they cut precursors. Precursors are the phases where a tropical storm was a tropical low at the very beginning. So, in the case of, like, say, Hurricane Irma, the track, I think, begins over here, but the tropical wave phase was tracked all the way over here. They cut it out at the end, which, I mean, it's a lesson for, but also it's not really useful if one wants to animate these kinds of stuff. So there's Melissa. I know as Melissa because that's the final storm. And I just noticed they have not moved the map. It's the exact same thing. It has been the same thing for like the entire animation. I don't think that's the big issue. I'm an animation student. I got a nitpick, but that's kind of preferential, I guess. So I'm just gonna let it go. Oh, wait. Wait. Are there no huge shift effects? Well, the rest for tropical storms. None for these. They used to have those for Cap Force. Kind of weird that they don't. I know some animations do, but that's like consistency issue, not really an animation issue. But moving on.
I definitely do think they are either trying to get some staff out or just trying to maybe evacuate some people.
So one thing I learned in the last 2 years of animation is that you never cut in the middle of something as big as this. In rare cases, that in very rare cases where, something big is not happening, you can do jump cut animation. Not animation, transition, I meant. Usually when you do this, you have to do it after the storm's over. I usually just recommend doing a voiceover in this part. One thing I learned from the 2022 typhoon season animation is that a lot of people were not happy with the cuts, so I had to reduce the cuts. They actually happened a lot more in between storms. I try to not do those cuts in between storms anymore. There is one cut in the next animation that happens in between one storm, but the said storm is not really that big of a deal. So yeah. If you're like an animator who's doing this, don't do the jump cut here. Do it before or after the storm. In case if it's before, you need to have a person as to why you're doing that jump cut there. In case of Hurricane Idalia, the state of Florida already declared a state of emergency even before the storm formed, and that's a pretty good reason to give a jump cut. You can prepare the audience, you can tell the audience that the state was expecting this hurricane to hit over here. They knew it was going to be bad, but they're still going to prepare nonetheless. It gives the impression of a lead up to this final climactic landfall over here. The issue with this, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not guilty, I've been guilty of this before. It just cuts right before it peaks. And it's not really something one should do. I've already watched this part.
16 countries with the busiest route, I mean, this is unrelated, going to Fort Lauderdale.
Which, with the storm clearly still intensifying up until landfall, looks like we're going to receive the most powerful landfall in Atlantic Ocean history. I hate hyperbole. We don't ever usually do it here on Force 13 streams, and that's because I make sure we don't. But unfortunately, this one is.
Okay, now it's gonna end. Right. This is exactly what I've been saying for when Barry happened, it wasn't as bad as this. You see how, let me just scroll back 5 seconds. See, notice how this half of the screen is not obscured. You can actually see it perfectly. 5 seconds later, the entire half of the screen is like, it's been obscured with these weird glowy landfalls. Again, I don't really know why they decided to go with the linear animation stuff and easing out animation. And again, if you're doing an animation like this, limit it to a certain distance, don't go all the way. It makes it a lot more distracting. And notice how you can't really, you can see this, but also you just cannot stop getting distracted by this. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's strongest, because it still hit a poor region of Jamaica and it still became the most costly storm. That's how bad the storm was. It doesn't matter if this was the strongest storm ever or like a high-end category 4. It was bound to do a lot of damage. I'm not sure if this is environmental information. I rather would have liked to see more about Hurricanes Aaron, maybe, or Hurricane Umberto. I'm so sorry, I'm not a Western person. Or maybe even the fact that there were 3 Category 5 hurricanes. That could have been at least something. This isn't really that relevant, but moving on. No, okay, they don't mention it. I'm not sure. Look, I definitely feel like they should have at least told you this season had the most Category 5 since 2005. This season, despite having the least amount of named storms since 2015, was the second highest season with Category 5s. It was that significant. Yeah, okay. I mean, I this is just me nitpicking. I kind of wish they were cut at the edges. It just feels weird, but that's just me. I'm not gonna complain. Maybe they could have had a bar here that said Ace total 123. Wait, why is it 123? Wait. Oh, it is 123. What? Hold on a moment. Look, I hate Big P, but bear with me. 132. I mean, I wish they gave. Did they give source information? No. I suggest giving source information for all their tracks, because it doesn't really make sense as to why there's this lot of energy. To be honest, the National Hurricane Center kind of does this, where they just makes it a lot more consistent. Even though it is quite subjective, it doesn't really matter. Unless it really does matter and it's making raffle, they have to make accurate data. But in cases where the storm is completely away from land, they had to just use estimations, which is completely fine. A lot of agencies do that. I don't know why the final score is lower than the official one by 9 points. But as I was saying, they should move this up right over here, add one more bar, and probably have an icon for it as well. But that's just me. This could have been shrunk. This looks weird. There's a lot of white space here. Again, nitpicking, not really a big deal. A lot of people, including myself, have been there. But next time, to make it a lot more organized, this central rectangle over here, it's your friend. Keep text here all the time. If there's something going on, like a video, keep text in this corner, these bottom two bars, right over here, or right over here. The video should be in the center, visible. Yeah, that's the first one. I expected a lot worse for a start, but yeah, those are my main gripes. I wouldn't really say this is the best animation. To be honest, it is pretty hard to make, quote, the best animation, end quote. It is decent by current Force 13 standards. Look, another nitpicking, I know for the fact this was probably animated in either Premiere Pro or HitFilm. HitFilm was discontinued, in fact. It was discontinued in January this year. The issue is, some channels, including myself, Nathan, the Australian Nathan, we have anime tracks, and I think Force 13 should have stepped up in the track animation. I know this is not really something anyone can do, but it's at least it could have been done, even if it means waiting for like a few days. Remember, it's like a lot better to do this. The animations make everything. You need to like add attention to detail to a lot of things. Everything, the icons, the pop-ups, the tracks, the timeline, the statistics, the ace bar. In fact, this is animated, but that's fine. A lot of people cannot do that, and that's also fine. I will not be complaining about that. Yeah, that's the first one. I expected a lot worse. It isn't that bad, but it could have been a lot better. That's just my opinion. Interesting to see 185, 890. I personally think 891 or maybe 891 to be, quote, conservative, end quote. The word conservative is like pretty bad nowadays, so I'm just gonna be saying a lot more careful. But 185 is a solid estimate, and that's quite nice. Well, I'm gonna be reacting to the next one, 2025 Pacific Hurricane Season animation.
Following an eventful, tragic, and strained 2023 Eastern Pacific season.
The 2023 Pacific Hurricane Season took place 2 years ago. If this intro was in the 2024 animation, it would have worked. And I mean, it should work. Because it's the 2024 Pacific Hurricane Season animation. You need to cover what happened last year. This is the 2025 animation. We should be covering what happened in 2024 instead. I know all this is pretty relevant even now. A lot of people aren't aware that it's the cosmically specific hurricane, but I don't know why this is being covered in this animation instead of the 2024 animation.
2024 were rapid.
Oh, never mind.
Storms.
I think I spoke too soon.
The lowest the basin has seen since 2011.
Well, that is true. In fact, I can add on to it. It had a pretty rare category 5. Usually they don't happen in these kind of conditions. Yeah, right over here. But I wouldn't really say least active. Because, again, you can have 4 name storms, and one of them can be $100 billion storm. In this case, John hit Mexico. It was pretty bad. Like this one. Jubilee. And this is the only thing. The strongest thing of that season. Yes, yes. I think there was an unnamed storm. Wait, was it? I thought there was an unnamed storm. Oh, no, there it is. 11E. Yeah, to be honest, 14 named storms. It is kind of inactive, but I would have rather mentioned that it was inactive but also destructive.
A harsh contrast to the previous year. With this in mind, would 2025 perform at a low or a high? Let's find out.
I like the intros. They are, I guess, organized. I feel like, again, nitpicking, don't really take this as massive criticism. Fix the, I forgot what to call it. I'm so sorry. I'm violating the Geneva Conventions of graphic designer. But yeah, you should fix this spacing. It should be a lot closer, so it appears bundled together. Don't go too far, but don't go too, tight either. Oh, that's interesting. I did not see this in a long while. So, fun fact. I want to give some lore. You know how those info bars? I'm gonna have to search it myself. So sorry. I don't want to shameless plug, but I had to. You can search. This. Oh, look. It's channel. I wonder who's running it. I'm gonna start with this. Oh, wait, not wrong place. The idea for this spanned all the way back in one of the earliest post-floating animations in the modern era. It was 1996? No, not 1996. Oh yeah, 1984. I think. I hope so. Yeah, this one. You see this? I got the idea from there. They abandoned this, but I thought it would be better to streamline this and make it like this. Notice how they're like not as cute. It kind of complements the area around the clock. And it's also pretty much well animated. I wouldn't really say well animated. Anyone can do that. So interesting to see this here. It's been brought back. And again, we are playing or permitted. I hope reacting to it is, because technically it's fair use. I hope. Wait. Now, I hate to be that girl, but consistency is a big thing. Usually in my animations, a lot of things are consistent. The clock position, the things that the statistic bars, the ace bars right over here in my end, the pop-ups are always consistent except for the velocity. I cannot control the velocity because Premiere Pro kind of screws up the velocity of those kinds of stuff. The storm information pop-ups, they go over here, the scale up, pop-up, show the information, scales down, goes down. In the last two animations, in the first animation that we saw, the pop-up for this storm came here. In this animation, it comes from the top. And that's kind of weird, because it should be consistent. I feel like they should make resources for that. On my end, I do it in a separate After Effects file. It's been formatted there already. I can just write the names, write the information, scale it down. It's been automated. And it needs to be consistent. That said, I like this a lot better because it's smaller, it's not really that distracting. But I'm gonna check the analyses as well. This is particularly the animation that I heard the analyses were pretty bad for. Let me check. 69.99? Yeah, 69.99. Decent start. Look, I hate to say this again. I'm not sure if using this font is a good idea. It could have been longer. It is pretty good for someone who's casual. For me personally, I would have used something like EXO or at least Montserrat. Make it a lot more consistent. Use Montserrat. Look at this. There's a lot of fonts. The case with my channel is that I use 3 fonts. One for thumbnail, one for everything, and one for the video. In this case, there's 3 different fonts at the moment. 4, actually, not 3. I need to be that girl again. Hurricane, what? When is this? 16. I hate this. Wait. Okay. A bit weird to not make that storm a hurricane. Oh! See, these are pop-ups. They were missing in the last animation. I have no idea why. It's so inconsistent, but that's just nitpicking. Not really something I wanna harp on for too long. What about costing? Does it price costing? Okay, I guess Cosmo is sort of subjectively okay. Next up is Eric. Oh, renamed. I know they did the TCR for Eric. They almost always do these earlier than usual for specific brainstorms. Eric formed at... Oh wait, they did get it right. I don't know why they wait. I have no idea why they pre-named it. Did they actually pre-name everything? No. I guess maybe they pushed back the formation. No. 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 Look. Okay. Lecture time. Here's how you transition. In a video. Okay. I can explain the other method of transitioning in a future video, but okay, video transitions. This is fine. The issue with this is that it's jarring. It's not smooth. I hate to be that person again. I'm gonna have to refer to one of my other animations. Well, I hope this loads. Okay, yeah, it's loading. Alright. This is one of my. This was my last animation for post-loading before I left. Notice how it's a lot smoother here? It's not jarring. Now, Hitfilm doesn't exactly have the best of the, it doesn't have the best easing out animations. Notice how it's smooth. It's not jarring, it's kind of smooth. See how it kind of slows down at the end? And when it starts to zoom in and zoom out? And that's how we do transition. This animation is 3 years old. I did this on a potato laptop. I'm pretty sure everyone in this project at the moment has way better computers than I did back then. I do not know how the concept of easing in and out was not applied here. You see how it just goes. It's a linear animation. It just kind of doesn't ease out. It just goes like this. It doesn't, it just goes. Whoop. And then in a correctly done transition, you just start slow, move fast, and then slow down. That's how you make it less jarring. Now, frankly, this entire 3D transition is very jarring regardless. I know, I've done it before, but we have to try and make it as less jarring as possible. Okay. Cat 3. Why is this a Cat 3? I'm pretty sure. Okay. This one was a lot stronger operationally. It was, I believe, 145. Was it? Yeah, I think it was 145. It got downgraded to 120. Okay. 120 knots, 140 miles per hour. What? Cat 3. Again, they could have sourced as to why they decided to keep it as Cat 3. Okay, listen to this. That feels like. I'm so sorry. That feels like someone trying to swipe my credit card. That feels like someone trying to swipe my credit card. I like the sounds in the previous animation. In this one, not so much. It just sounds like someone swiped over a surface. It just feels it fits zooming and it fits the zooming transition. It does not fit a storm hitting land. Once again, the 3 animations, quite jarring. Also these. I like that this person who animated it actually kind of stops the animation at this point. Now, they could have done it. Honestly, that's not really how to make a proper animated landfall. Rule of animation, there was like a book, the 12 Principles of Animation, At the moment, I can only see a few because it's 1 a.m. But timing is one of the key aspects of an animation, and this one isn't really timeful. Notice how this just keeps going and going. It doesn't really have any sound. It does not really have any secondary actions. I can once again show one example. Well, I can show my example at least. Again, I'm gonna show a very, very specific storm. Pretty perfect for this scenario. Notice here, see how these look pretty small? They actually start quickly, they slow down, stop right over there, and goes down. Same thing here. It's the same thing for every single landfall except for Cat 5, which kind of slightly goes. It's not too much, but it's barely noticeable. Regardless, everything has the same width, same opacity, same animation. Here, each of these just kind of feels a lot more distractful. I'm like not really a huge fan of these. If they're trying to make something new, and I hope they do, they should probably focus more on fixing these. My first suggestion would be to just make it so it just stops at a certain point. Make the stroke for the text a lot more thicker because it's kind of hard to see the tree. And remove the glow effects. No glow effects. Don't overdo glow effects. It makes it quite hard to concentrate. No. Okay. I'm pretty sure there were surface instruments for Eric. In fact, they actually did have 944. I'm not sure why they kept 125. Next card here. Also, don't do this. You see how this just ends as a cat 1? Don't do that. Try to color grade it. You shift it to certain opacity, maybe even add a rubber low. Don't just end it as a cat 1. It kind of feels like a pre-1950 Herd system. I remember Flossie being a major hurricane. This track for this storm ends. You see how there's like still a bit more tracks left, even though the storm hasn't gone there? Yeah, that's an issue. Also, colors. Like, look, I'm guilty of this as well. They should probably fix these colors. You can barely see Cat 1 and Cat 2. They're not very well contrasting to each other. Cat 3 actually looks easier to look. I wish they did the same thing to Cat 2 as well. Maybe make it a lot more darker. Maybe make Cat 1 much more lighter. That's just my suggestion. Let's check. Flossie. Higher pressure and slightly higher winds, but it's not the worst, I guess. This animation, unlike the last one, has map animations, but they're not really smooth. Again, no easing out. It's 2025. I feel like we probably should, to make quality control a lot easier, they should add smoothing. They should smooth out the animations for the map. It just doesn't make sense. That's still linear to this day. It's 2025, and Frost 13 has done you know how there's this person named Hurricane Cheese or Cheese? They're not a good person. They're like intentionally just makes everything so bad so they get a lot of attention. And I feel like even if that person is much more horrible, even if Cheese is like the most let's just say formally unlikable person in the community, I don't think he would go as far as to downgrade an actual Category 4 storm to Category 3. There's zero evidence supporting Category 3 downgrade. I'm not exact. Like even the Central Pacific Hurricane Center actually upgraded to Cat 4. This was a Cat 3 before, operationally. Everyone at the time knew this was a Cat 4. It got upgraded to a Cat 4. 130 miles per hour. I don't know what their justification for this is. They rarely ever say justifications, but again, this is data. You should show data. Listen, I've seen a lot of horrible analyses, and I'm kind of not really surprised that this is still going on. You know what I do like? The text doesn't obscure, it goes down. That's neat. You know what's not neat? This. Again, I'm gonna check the description, and there's nothing. No source. Now, I'm guilty of this as well. I have no sources as well, but I used the National Hurricane Center in my defense. I'm not a meteorology student, but I do ask some of my friends regarding certain stuff. This is kind of not really it. No. I know it was not a Category 3, it was Category 4. But, whatever. Again, you'll see this in the 2023 Typhoon Seas animation that I did. You should make every single thing have a smoother version of animation. It's the year 2025. I know for some people it's difficult to do that, especially on mobile devices, where you can absolutely do that in a computer. The fact that this person did not is pretty weird. Okay, they animated this part. That's pretty good. One of the most difficult things to animate is when the sun goes off the screen. You're doing the Atlantic hurricane season. It just goes here, reforms here. Usually, just bring the anchor points of both the track and the storm, the final part of the storm, animate that, and then kind of remove the anchor points as well. That's how I usually do it. It's a lot more difficult to do it in After Effects because, no, not After Effects, Premiere Pro. You cannot do a side-scrolling animation in Premiere Pro because the smoothing bars, the motion bars for this software is not good compared to HitFilm. And that's kind of one area where HitFilm was a lot better. After Effects is considerably better, but it's not really any editing software, it's a motion graphics software. Am I crazy, or did they just remove Ivo? Wasn't Ivo a hurricane? Wait, oh wait, no, never mind. I swear it was a hurricane, was it? No, I guess I'm not. I guess I'm wrong. Never mind. Go on. Juliet. I kind of don't remember what Juliet was. Oh, we had closed that tab. Whoops. I did not mean to. Next up is Kiko. Let's see what this becomes. Okay, there's our, well, technically in this animation, the first category for. Okay, Lorena was hurricane. We haven't made the TCR front yet. But I do remember it was hurricane. Wait, wasn't Mario, didn't Mario have two faces? I'm pretty sure Mario had two faces. It did. Wait, why? No, okay. We'll just keep going. I kind of want to nitpick something. I'm so sorry. This just looks like, you know, if you have an iPhone, I don't, but a lot of people I know have iPhones. You know those old iPhones where if you don't have the home button or if you just want more accessible options, there's this option to like enable this weird home button shaped overlay that gives you a lot more options. It reminds me of that, and sometimes I keep thinking it's the channel this icon, but it's not. It's part of the animation. They could maybe fix the icons for that. Alright, yeah, now it's correct. Time for Octave and Priscilla. Priscilla? Is it pronounced Priscilla? Hold on. We'll check after this. I don't want to interrupt. Priscilla Catherine? No, wait, not yet. Actually, no. I mean, could be subjective, personally. It's probably borderline major. I need to look into it a lot more, though. I do remember some people arguing it was a major hurricane. It did look like one. Well, oops. I did not mean to do this. I like the new hot take. I like the new controls, but YouTube is way more jankier than usual. Milestone? Okay. Okay, I'll give them this. They actually show the final soundtracks right after the animation. I usually do it after the summary, but I guess I'll give it to them. It's way better. Look, I am not sure what was going on with Cat 3, Eric, and Iona. I have zero clue as to why they kept those as Cat 3. They are not Cat 3. Again, scanner font. Maybe they could do it better. It's also like, compared to, wait. Oh yeah, like, it's not consistent with the last animation. I don't know why. They probably should make it more consistent. I mean, as a person, no, I worked there before. So it is kind of weird that they still did not fix that. And I had no idea what to say. Wait, what? I mean, oh yeah, Gil did become a hurricane. No, wait, no, that's Iva. It's just me having a rare brain fart, whatever. Yeah, I kinda confused Iva with Gil. That's on me. Eric is 15 whole miles weaker than the official rated intensity. Iron is 10 miles weaker than the official rated intensity. I do not know what their justification is. Damage over here. Nails over here. And like raise. Make these left aligned. And again, center it. Oh wait, I did do that. Well, I guess. I hate to be a grammar nitpicker, but those two comments. Maybe remove this. Or maybe remove this entire word. Okay. I guess I do agree that the analyses for this particular season was not good. I don't know what went wrong, and oh yes, people did mention it. Mixed cheese analysis look accurate Iona is while for certain gives coal. And for certain continues the trend of making the animations of all time, except this time they thought having terrible analysis was acceptable. Just letting, oh yeah, I mentioned him before. Just letting everyone knows, because they cannot take criticism, Force 13 is beginning to delete comments that go against the analysis of this animation. This comment will likely be deleted as well, but whoever reads this, welcome to the real world behind the scenes. I remember one of my friends posted another comment. It was it was it was from FCX. It was from Xavier again. It was like let me just read it. It was actually screenshotted. Let me find it. Hold on. From F's. Oh wait, no, this is different. From XCX Animations. This might be some of the worst analysis I have ever seen for any Eastern Pacific season. To the point, it makes Chase's analysis look miles better. There was also another comment that uh, well, it is what it is. I wouldn't say this is a good analysis. I I hate to be that person. If I was a casual person, I wouldn't really bother with the transitions. But I'm an animation student, and I can give some suggestions. Please make transitions more smoother. Easing and ease up keyframes are your best friend. Always use those. It's the year 2025. We are not in 2018 or 2019. I don't know why um linear animations are still used. But yeah, that's kind of it. I liked that the map was more expressive, slightly more expressive. It only moves once. It actually only moves once. No, wait, it does move twice. Okay, this is one, and it's two. It did move a lot more than the Atlantic version. I cannot believe it. They moved the map in this animation. Okay, that's really about it. Look, if there's a lot of text, keep it in the corner. Ruler thirds, keep this in this side, and maybe remove this icon. Or if you really want to keep the icon, place it over here. Or maybe here. If you're placing here, reduce opacity. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, and it's Force 13 in late 2025. It's been 3 years since I left this project, and I'm gonna be blunt. It's not looking good. I wouldn't really say these people are horrible. I know there's a lot of horrible people in the project, but these are not bad animations, but they could be a lot better. You know what the actual best animation in this channel, in my opinion, is? It's subjective. Everyone has their choice. It's T2005 animation, and it's 5 years old. And people still have not been able to make something close to that. The closest is the 2020 season, the Atlantic Hurricane season. That got pretty close. I'd argue that's the second best animation. And I'm not counting mine because mine is 720p. That's a violation of the Geneva Conventions. In my defense, I still don't have a beefy computer. Now, I'm gonna make a bold claim. You see these two? Yeah, I did mention them earlier, but these two make way better animations than Force 13. I hate to admit it because, quite frankly, I'm comparing one person to an entire team. But the fact is that I'm comparing one person to an entire team. An entire team. This person, one single person. Look at it. Notice how there's just like a lot of smoothness. And notice how this circle animation, it does not last long. It has the same issue that it doesn't have the smoothing effect, but it does not last long. It ends pretty quickly. It does not cover the half of the screen. That's decent. You notice how this is also animated? Yeah, this is animated. I like the effects. I subjectively don't like adding these because it's difficult to render this out. The water effects. Plus, the water doesn't look good for scale. And again, like this, you cannot move the water. It just feels so weird. But that's just me. I'm an animation student. I like solid backgrounds. It's a lot easier to see a solid background. If this person likes it, it's their choice. Notice how the map transition is not linear. It's not linear. Watch. It starts slow. It speeds up, slows down, until it stops. It does not look jarring. It looks like as if you just moved something and just rest there. This is how you do a map transition. Again, I can nitpick, but at least I'll give them this. The animation for this is much, much, much quicker. And that helps a lot because it also finishes up earlier. The one with Force 13 just keeps going. It covers up half the screen. You cannot see anything. Yeah. That's it. These people, all these people have way better animations. Actually, they mentioned it. Hold
Following.
on. See these? I mean, well, I'm not sure if these two anime. These people have way better animations. Oh, me too. It's one thing that kind of makes me a bit sad is that I'm not sure what happened. Okay. If you make something like that, you just put it out pretty quickly. And it still ends up being the most viewed topic. People like me or others put in like at least a month's worth of effort and rarely get anything back. Because remember, our videos, we just spend so much time. We don't really get anything in return. I make my videos because I kind of like visualizing them. And it kind of makes me a bit upset, slightly. I'm gonna be blunt. But I feel like they really should try making quality assurance a lot better. That's just my opinion. I know I worked in this project before, and it was just as bad back then. A lot of conflicts with the consistency. A lot of conflicts. A lot of conflicts with the consistency. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know what else to say, because, again, suggestions. I just don't want to get copyright striked, but that's inevitable, but oh well. It is a bit weird that it's been 3 years since I left this project. There's been at least one or two good animations that I've heard from people, but the rest I've only heard bad things about. In my opinion, it's pretty subjective. I think the biggest issues with the recent animations are it's just they're not really consistent. Like, you have different animations, different styles of animation. If you're one project, you have to stick with that project's brand guidelines. And 413 has almost a million different brand styles. It's quite conflicting, and I feel like they could do a lot better at this opportunity. But that's just me. That's really about it. I feel like my suggestions might get thrown under the bus, but I don't really care, because at the end of the day, the point of this video is that if you're someone who's animating, please just, at least learn about basic transitions and curves. Every attention to detail that you put in a video, unless you're on a phone, in that case it's excusable, because I don't think there's a good video editor on a phone, even to this day. That's the only thing I can excuse. But if you're on a PC, you have a lot of resources on your hand. Especially beefy computer. I can kind of excuse low-end PC. I used to animate on a potato laptop. And even then, I did it, but it's because I knew some stuff, and I don't think everyone can know about it. But yeah, honestly, I do think that they should probably fix their animation department. And as an animation student, still studying, well, I would really say they have way more to improve. Like, so much more to improve. Like, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to sound like I'm egotistical. It's just being blunt. I have way less beefier computer than everyone in this community on top, and I still can do way more than all of them. But I can be happy to teach them. I know a lot of people keep asking me over tutorials. I need time. I need to, be free. Make sure that I have nothing left on my plate. Because, a lot of things keep changing. Adobe's releasing their next version soon for Premiere Pro and After Effects. And to be honest, film is, dead. It's not really dead. I guess it's still around. People still use it. You just cannot download it anymore. And I know I need to make an updated tutorial. The old one is pretty bad. I need to make a new one. Let's read about it. If you're someone who's starting out as an animator, please make sure to read up on the 12 principles of animation. I wouldn't rely on it. You can definitely ignore those rules on rare occasions. And also, please make sure to watch a lot of animated stuff, not just hurricane animations. You need to watch movies, you need to watch infographics, all sorts of stuff. You get a lot of ideas from there. And I still occasionally do get a lot of ideas from there. And honestly, it kind of feels weird to say this. It's been 3 years, from 13, you definitely need a consistent template. I don't know why animators there are given differing templates. Maybe it's preference, but because they're all working under one brand, not even their channel, I feel like they definitely should have a reason to make it consistent. Make it consistent. Also, please replace the landfalls. They are not good. That's blunt. They're not good. That's about it. And I think that's the end of the stream. So, 2023 animation in a few days, hopefully. Very hopefully, in fact. And once that's done, I can focus on 2025 as well. And that's it. I could try making a track animation template. I'll try to make it unique. I need to stand out. Well, stand out among everyone else. And yeah, that's about it. Well, Happy Christmas. No, not Happy Christmas, I'm so sorry. Merry Christmas again for those who are celebrating it. Good morning, good day, good afternoon for everyone who's unable to celebrate or are in areas who are not celebrating it. Probably good night again for those who are not celebrating it, and as well from my end, because it's nearly 2 a.m. I need to sleep, I need to hydrate. I kind of delayed a lot of stuff because studies and medical checkups, but I'm free now and, free temporarily. I could finally focus on making things and becoming a pretty good example of someone who actually knows what she's doing. So yeah. Good night, and hopefully see you when the next animation comes out. And maybe I could stream again if they release Typhoon animation at the New Year's. So yeah. Good night. Oh, and if you're someone who's starting out as an animator, please pirate Adobe. Don't pay. Thank me later. Thank you.